So we're in Fresno, California, just finished installing a Bradford White 50-gallon natural gas water heater. This is the high input model, the H6N, that has the space heating. You can see here, space heating, supply and return. The old water heater was an Apollo 40-gallon, had the space heating outlets, but they didn't utilize them. They took these two half-inch lines, which were installed, I would imagine, by the HVAC company, and then Plumber tied it into his plumbing. They took the hot water supply, tied it right into the hot and the cold the return line over here. They tied it into the cold water, and I guess it worked fine. You know, it's been here 25 years, but it's not the correct way to tie things in. So anyways, this is installed. We're going to start with first. We put in a 4-inch vent, and that's dual wall B vent up in the attic, all the way up through the roof. And I don't want to go out front and take a picture because it kind of tells you where we're at, and we like to keep people's privacy. But so the old water heater had a 3-inch vent coming off, and that may have been fine. But this one requires a 4-inch vent. So dual wall B vent in the attic, about 7 feet of it, up to a brand new flashing cap collar, storm collar, and then it's sealed with the heat tape that the HVAC people use, and so that's nice. And then of course here, adjustable 90s, top and bottom, and a short piece of pipe, 4-inch single wall pipe for the venting, which is great. The water lines, both of them, we took everything apart. It was kind of a train wreck back there, but we took it all apart. Gave you some new copper adapters and new quarter-turn ball valves. I'm not going to reach back there because I'm over on a ladder over here, but you've got one on the hot and one on the cold. It's only required on the cold, but we like to put them on the hot and the cold when we're doing a big project, because then we can get the water back onto the home and not worry about anything backfeeding out of the hot side while we're working on the water heater. And the functionality is simply this: quarter turn off and quarter turn on. So hot side, cold side. Falcon stainless steel connectors. These are the largest in the industry, and these are the Mega Flex, which you can take these things, wrap them around in a circle, and straighten them back out and use them over and over again. So those are nice 3/4 by 18-inch Falcon stainless steel connectors. Brass nipples, so copper adapter, brass valve, brass nipple, Falcon stainless steel connector, down to some more. These are brass extensions. We use these to get a good seat with this nut right here on the hot and the cold side. So that's it up here. Again, that's the supply. So the hot water here comes out. You got an isolation valve, check valve, so water can only flow up and away. Takes it up to the unit, brings it back down here, and all the way down to the bottom. You can see down there, shutoff valve. And they can have unions as well. So you've got a union here, you can break it apart, and a union down there. And it's a dielectric unit. It doesn't have to be because we've got brass here, but that's what we have. It's a good transition from iron pipe threads to copper. And even though it's brass, it's threaded pipes is what it is. So that's good. And then solid brass construction coming out of the tank, brass 90. Same thing on the bottom, a brass nipple stub out, brass 90. So no iron pipe in the system as far as the potable water goes. So that'll be real clean. Monitor this if you can. You know, occasionally come by and just take a look up here and see if any moisture, anything that it looks like it's squirting, spraying. Anything, let us know so we can come out and take care of it for you. You know, because we've been here monitoring it for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and it looks good right now. But you know, once we go home, we just don't know. So please monitor that if you can. Brand new relief valve comes with the unit. That's that guy right over there. And then it's a short nipple with a 24-inch Falcon stainless steel connector over to the wall, and that's good. Strap on the upper third, strap on the lower third. That's code, and that's required. Strapping this water heater in place. And then of course your gas line, we just took it apart. It was a little short. It was riding up against the other tank. It was hitting right here, and so we took it out, got a longer piece in the wall, and then reconnected the existing pipe that was here. Give you a little shorty nipple, brand new gas shutoff valve, brand new gas connector going over to the unit, so that's good. I'd be careful with the side door. I think it opens and it may or may not hit this water heater, so you don't want it. Let's see what it does. I think it hits the stand first. Yep. So that's good. It hits the edge of the stand instead of bumping into things every time you open the door. So that's good. Anyways, the water is heating. We have it set at 120, which is approximately 120, and so you can read right there. Scalding risk increases with hotter water. So 120. A 130, B 140, C 150, very hot 160. At B 140, you get 3rd-degree burns in 3 seconds. If it's an infant, 1 second, they're going to the hospital. So I think it's just adults in the home, but that's plenty for a hot shower. If you're having problems in an area with hot water, you may have a problem with a cartridge at a faucet or at a shower valve. You just might need a cartridge replacement. So just be mindful. I wouldn't turn it up, but if you feel like you want some hotter water, then that's how you do it right there. They did have previously. They had a little saddle valve up on that half-inch supply line. The return line from the HVAC equipment coming down, it was a little saddle valve. They drill a hole in the copper, and then they put it in because they were getting air pockets, and the shower wasn't functioning correctly in the back room. Well, that's been resolved because the HVAC water and the potable water are separated now. This comes down, and this is the space heating here. So that's a separate loop. If there is air in the line on the HVAC side, then you'd have to bleed the HVAC side out. But right now, it's just hot and cold water the way it should have been plumbed in the first place. Cold water comes into the unit on the right, and then hot water goes back into the wall. And so once the air is out of the system, which means you open faucets around the home, hot and cold, you turn it on, and bleed all the because when you shut the home down, which is what we did, it introduces air into the system. And so now the system is closed again. Just go and bleed all the air out. You shouldn't have any problems with the hot water that you did at the shower previously. So anyways, everything looks good here. Outside of that, this installation is done.